Now, we start off July on a nice note after all of the hot and humid days at the end of June. Joining us with a recap of the month is meteorologist Nathan Gidley. Nathan, take us back through all of those days in the 90s.
Well, there sure were plenty of them, Nicholas. After being below average for the first half of June, Mother Nature sure cranked up the heat and left us sweltering by month's end. A week after we saw a high temperature of 66 degrees on the 14th, we added up 7 days in a row in the 90s, pushing our average June temperature up to 2.5 degrees above average. Ultimately good for the 16th warmest June on record in Fort Wayne's history, with weather records dating back to 1897. Now, our total of 8 June days in the 90s matches last year's total, doubling our June average, though, of 4 days. The most ever days in the 90s or above remains 17 days, which occurred back in 1934. Warm overnight lows also played a big role in boosting us above average, as the month's average low temperature of 63 degrees ties 1952 and 1943 as the 8th warmest on record for the month of June. In fact, we did tie a record highest low temperature on June 22nd when we dropped down to 74 degrees, tying the mark set back in 1988. Let's transition over to precipitation. It was a drier than average month, but only by 0.23 inches. Notice only a third of June days, though, saw measurable precipitation, but it was still good enough to add up 4.25 inches of rain. This is good for the 51st wettest June, though, and the rainiest June since 2021 in Fort Wayne. Now, the severe weather of June 18th caused damage in Bluffton. Let's take a look back at some video here of the event. We also saw ominous skies and hail reported as well when these storms rumbled on through. Now, we saw widespread storms that day, but late in the month, we had plenty of days with isolated storms. Let's take June 26, for example, when Fort Wayne only picked up 0.31 inches of rain, while Lima, Ohio, just outside of our area, saw a whopping 2.02 inches of rain. Will we stay hot and see more feast or famine storms in July? Well, you have to find out. Tune in coming up at 6. Meteorologist Nathan Gidley, Wayne 15 News.